So one of the biggest problems I see with coaches is that they do not have enough confidence in their offer. And as a result, they get to the end of a sales call and their voice kind of drops and they kind of get low and their energy gets weak. And the person tells them they need to think about it, and they let the person off the hook. They let the person drift away, or they let the person tell them that, it's too much money. And if they don't really believe that what they sell is worth way more than what it costs, they're not going to be willing to push back on that objection at all. And what's worse is that lack of confidence even prevents a lot of coaches from having very many calls where they could enroll a prospect, because they don't project confidence in their marketing. They don't project confidence in their messages or their emails to people. They don't even offer to hop on that call in the first place because they're not really excited about the thing that they do for people. I was in a mastermind with Brendan Burchard and Dean Graziosi, and Dean was teaching us in a small group his best material on sales. And the very first thing he did was he opened up by saying, if you're not doing well at sales, if you're struggling with sales, then it's probably because you don't really love your product. And what you actually need to do, instead of learning a bunch of cool sales techniques, is go back to the product you're selling and take it to a new level. Take it up 2, 3, 4 levels, and to where, compared to what you're charging for it, it is just like an obvious no-brainer. And then you're going to be so much better at selling it. You're not going to need to follow all these fancy sales scripts, because humans are great BS detectors. They can pick up on whether or not someone's confident, whether or not someone's authentic. They really can. And there's no amount of wordsmithing you can do to overcome that. There's just an intuitive feeling that people have about you, about, hey, is this person really, legit? Can they really help me? Or do I just sniff a little bit of BS in there? And so that's just going to cause me to say no. It happens all the time. Okay. So do you guys want to talk a little bit about why this happens and what to do about it? Cool. So basically, when you're coming up with your offer, and we're talking about just confidence here, there's other pieces of your offer, like making sure it serves the right client, making sure it serves a niche that you feel really excited about, very foundational pieces. But there's this third piece, and it's the confidence piece. And that's what we're talking about today. So if someone told you, that they needed you to help them learn how to tie their shoes, how confident would you be on a scale of 1 to 10 that you could do that? Okay. Just it's an obvious no-brainer, right? You're not going to think that you would go down to tie the shoe and all of a sudden your hands would start to fumble. You've done it so many times. If you're a new coach, you may not have something that's as easy as tying your shoes. Okay. So I'm not trying to sell you this impossible dream, but we're trying to get essentially as close to that as we can to start. Now, we're not picking something boring like tying your shoes. We're picking something that serves the client you love and solves a problem you're really excited about. But when you put in your skill set into there, that's kind of the third piece, you have to pick something that is authentic to what you can deliver on. A lot of coaches are out there and they're just trying to sell something that they frankly cannot really deliver on, definitely not at a 10 out of 10 level. And so therefore there's this gap between what they're saying, what they can do, and people can just pick up on that. So it would be a lot better, instead of over-promising something you cannot deliver on, it would be a lot wiser to just dial back what you can promise to where it's in alignment with what you can actually deliver, even if it means reducing your price, even if it means adding done-for-you elements into your offer. So you're doing work for people. One of my mentors who does 7 figures a month in the coaching space started out just doing copywriting for people. It's like manual labor. Pay me, I will write for you. $400 for 20 emails and some other stuff, right? And now he's one of the most successful business coaches out there. And so, but he wasn't too egotistical in the beginning to just dial back what he could promise people to a level that he could deliver on, because he was really good at copywriting. So what would that be for you? Like, what is your authentic entry point into coaching? If you pick the right client that you love serving, you will be able to serve them in a bunch of different ways. Like, you think about the careers of the greats like Tony Robbins or Brendan Burchard. They help people with all kinds of stuff, but they didn't start saying like, I'm a business coach, because they had just started their business, and so they couldn't really be a business coach, because they didn't know enough about business. And so they started where they could, and they brought into their offers over time. So one great way to bring your confidence up with your offer is to incorporate done for you elements. So you might, do some coaching, but that you also actually create and deliver some things for your clients in whatever niche you're in. So, if you're in health, you might actually ship somebody like some kind of test, where they can prick their finger and it comes back with 10 or 15 different readings, and then you actually review their report and give them a nutritional and an exercise plan that's tailor-made to them based upon the results of their blood test or whatever. Like, that would just be one of the things you could deliver in your health program. And that's cool, because it's like, oh, okay, this person's like going to do some work for me. They're going to ship me the right test. They're going to review it, and they're going to write a plan that's custom for me. They're not just going to sit on calls and spout wisdom, because they're a new coach. And, you got to do some work. I think a lot of people, and maybe I'm a little guilty of this too sometimes, they sell this dream of like, just become a 6-figure coach. Everyone can become a 6-figure coach. The truth is that, most people can if you have the skills and the determination, but you can't. It's not like this business in a box where you just just start posting and you'll make 10 grand a month right away. It doesn't work that way. Like, you have to set up the foundational elements right. You have to get into the business. You have to get a foothold and then climb from there. And I want you guys to remember that the business of coaching and consulting has been around for a very long time, long before the internet existed. Okay? So coaching businesses are not the internet. Coaching businesses are not social media and technology and websites and funnels, right? Before the internet existed, there was still coaching businesses. And what was at the heart of those businesses? It was people who need help with something, and then the coach who had something to help them with. And back then they had to market via like in-person events and telephones and direct mail and whatever else, right? Radio, TV. But those are just like the megaphones that project the message out there. It's just marketing tools. And I think a lot of people will come in and they'll like be like, I want to start a YouTube channel. Well, that's not a coaching business. That's just a marketing tool, right? It's like the same thing as if you think pre-internet, if somebody just said, I want to start a radio ad, or I want to start a newsletter, but it was like, well, what is it going to be about? Who are you going to mail it to? What's the point of it? Are you going to help people? Who are you going to help? What's the offer you're going to put in the newsletter? Can you deliver on the offer? Like, those things would obviously need to be in place before just having this idea that you're going to start a newsletter. Okay. So I hope this has been really helpful for you guys. When you get this right, when you get the offer dialed in to where it's aligned with who you love serving, the problem you love solving, and your skill set to where you have a 10 out of 10 confidence that you can really deliver, that is your healthy, authentic foothold or entry point into coaching. It's not your forever, but it is where you should start. And once you figure that out, you will go on to social media, you will go on to the tools, and you will start to make $3,000, $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 per month with your offer, because you will now have a specific thing that you can sell with confidence. You will know who your person is, you will know where to go find them, and you won't have nearly as much trouble reaching out to them and selling it to them because you're like, this is an obvious thing that people need. Cool. So I hope that helps, guys. And what I've covered today is one of the main things that I teach clients in my 10-week workshop that takes coaches who are making less than $5,000 a month up into that 10, 15, 20K plus range by fixing their offer. And in that workshop, I also teach you how to then go out and do a simple, repeatable, organic daily marketing routine to drum up excitement, to get those calls on your calendar every single week. Like, I have calls on my calendar every single week to talk to prospects. And then also how to deliver that program and how to think about the different delivery formats of one-on-one, group coaching, and courses, and how to evolve through those. That's another huge piece of success as a coach if you're a coach who really wants to scale. So if you're interested in finding out if you'd be a good fit for this 10-week workshop, just shoot me a DM on Facebook. Okay, just add me as a friend. If we're not friends, shoot me a DM. I will put the DM link down in the notes, and let's have a short conversation. If you're a fit, we can get you started right away. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you next time. Here's to your success. Peace.